This is Vigilante, and I'm James Farley, the Vigilante. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, Abominable Snowman, or about a dozen other names for this mythical beast, this monster that lay hidden in our deepest forests that we have no evidence whatsoever exists. Well, Searching for Bigfoot Incorporated has said they've got the definitive proof. They bought a frozen carcass off of two guys, one being a cop, and they think, okay, we got it. This is absolute solid proof. They have a press conference, they're going to have DNA testing, this is the definitive proof that Bigfoot existed, and Searching for Bigfoot Incorporated, CEO Tom Discardi, is seeing money signs in his eyes. Oh my God, I finally hit the mother lode. Finally, I'm going to cash in big. My fame and fortune is here. So when he had to pony up $50,000 to buy this thing from Matt Whitton and Rick Dyer, he didn't think twice about it. Yeah, money in the bank, you know. Why even hesitate? $50,000 for such a fine? Cheap, chump change. So he bought it, he defrosted it, he had the scientists take a look at it, and the first thing they noticed when the first hair popped through was that it was a plastic hair. Didn't know that plastic grew naturally in nature, but, you know, they continued to defrost and found a rubber foot. Then they started to get a little bit worried that this might be a hoax. They should have been thinking about that a long time before they put down the $50,000. But that's how the story goes. So, Discardi, he disappears, the two hoaxers, they disappear, he's laying low, he's claiming that he was a fool, not his fault. Yeah, right, not his fault. I would say his scientific objectivity was slightly distorted due to his feeling that he was going to make huge amounts of money off of this thing. Now, I'm not saying Tom Discardi is necessarily, you know, perpetrating a fraud on people. I think to do that, you have to actually know that what you're selling is bogus. If you think it works, then it's not really technically fraud. Misled, naive, unscientific, and probably 100 other words that describe what it is, but it's not maybe technically fraud. Even though I feel the effect is very similar to fraud. I mean, this Tom Discardi guy, his whole life, his whole existence is Bigfoot. He's got Bigfoot tours, Bigfoot camping, Bigfoot expeditions, he's got a radio show, he's got videos, he's got books, he's got posters, he's got a website where you can subscribe and look at pictures. He's got a whole industry around Bigfoot. Bigfoot. Something that there is as much scientific evidence for as the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus. Now, there's a big industry around Santa Claus too, but at least I think most of the people understand that it's not real. Where most of the people that spend the money on Bigfoot think it's real. So, these Whitton and Dyer guy who found this thing in Georgia, and you know, got this Discardi guy and Searching for Bigfoot Incorporated interested to sponsor it and pay for it and all that. I was thinking that these guys are pretty scummy kind of guys, you know? I mean, an obvious fraud. One's a cop. Now his name is like ruined in kind of trust circles. But then I started thinking about it a little bit, and I saw an interview after the hoax was revealed, and they were kind of like laughing around, like, who could believe it? You know, we were telling the stories and this and that, you know, it doesn't exist, you know, it's hard to believe that anybody would believe it. I started to kind of think, you know, that as vigilantes, I think they are vigilantes. Why? Because they were putting the screw to this Discardi guy. The guy who makes his whole life, his whole living, his whole existence off of the naivete and silliness of others. That maybe, you know, think, maybe it exists. I don't know, I haven't researched Bigfoot, you know, it could, who knows, you know. He says it exists, he's got pictures, he's got a little evidence, he's got footprints or whatever, you know. Yeah, I'll go out with him, I'll buy his book, I'll read it, up on it, I'll get his video, I'll listen to his thing. But the fact is, even if Discardi doesn't know that it's a fraud, it is a fraud, and he's milking hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, maybe more people out of good, hard-earned money for this fairy tale that he's perpetrating as a possible scientific, reality with actual scientific type evidence. So, I was going to chastise the whole Bigfoot community, including Matt Whitton and Rick Dyer. But now I'm thinking that they are vigilantes. They are bringing to the forward this idiocy of this whole thing and humiliating and basically relieving Searching for Bigfoot Incorporated of some money and of their respectability, which is a good thing. People need to be aware that this is crap, and they are bringing it to the forefront. So, to Matt and Rick, a big vigilante two-gun salute. Bang! Yeah. And keep up the good work. Vigilante from Vigilante Center